Greetings from Precious Blood Renewal Center in Liberty, Missouri, along with greetings from San Francisco. I've had the opportunity to spend a few days here in California, visiting our guys in Berkeley, along with San Francisco, to be able to travel and see the sights, as well as help out and cover some of the masses, so that Father Matt could have a few days away. It's been a great joy to be here. And just before I left to come on this trip, I was thinking about putting together this video. And I was thinking about what are some of the things that I love to do during the summer. And as I was visiting with some different people, one of them mouthed off to me and said, "Oh, just go fly a kite." And I just simply said, "I think I will." I love to fly a kite. I love to be outdoors, to be able to have that wide open space, an open sky, away from trees, away from power lines. Sometimes in the city, it's not always easy to find those open spaces. Even at our renewal center, around the pond, there might even be a chance to get a kite to fly there. I even tried it before I left for this trip. It was so-so. It might not have been the most perfect day. It might not have been the most perfect wind, but it was still fun trying. As we visit here in California, Father Dave took us out on a bit of a tour around the Berkeley area. And we had an opportunity to travel to Cesar Chavez Park. And as we were circling around to come back home, we noticed some people were out there flying a kite. It was a beautiful sight to behold. Even in the midst of the city, there was still some wide open space, away from the hustle and bustle, to find a place to fly a kite. And then we also had the opportunity to travel to visit the museum dedicated to Rosie the Riveter. It's right next to the water, next to an old Ford plant. And out on the water near the beach, there were some people who were on surfboards with kites as well. It was interesting to watch them, to see what they were doing, to see how those kites would actually fly in that wind. Several years ago, at one of our week-long conferences that the community hosted at St. Joseph College in Rensselaer, Indiana, I forget what the whole purpose was for that retreat that week, but we had the afternoons free. And on the first day that we had an afternoon free, I announced, "I'm gonna go fly a kite." And everybody looked at me like, "What?" Even somebody said, "You know, when we used to tell you to go fly a kite, we were only joking." I said, "That's fine. I enjoy flying kites, and I'm headed outside to do it." I once found a kite that I can carry in my car. It's a kite in the bag. It has everything it's needed: the kite, the string, the tails, everything. And it folds up neatly into a nice little package. And it makes it great to throw it in the back of the car and carry it with me, to be able to pull it out and go fly a kite whenever I feel like it, or find a nice open space. But unfortunately, in the move last summer, that kite has disappeared, and I have not yet found it. So I'm still looking for it. But this summer, I decided to take some time to try to fly a kite, take a chance at Precious Blood Renewal Center out by the pond. And after looking around town, almost looking for a needle in a haystack, I finally came across the beautiful kite. It was very simple, wasn't much to it, but it was still something. And so I took a chance. The day wasn't that great of wind, but it was still fun trying. Over the years, I spent time flying different kites, even making some of my own. It was great growing up on the farm, trying to make our own kites out of 2 sticks and newspaper and a tail of ribbon tied together for a tail. But you had to be careful with those kites. They wouldn't hold up to the heavy Kansas winds at times. It had to be a nice, gentle breeze, just enough to catch the kite, but not too much to rip it apart and destroy it. We quickly learned how to beef up the kites, to make them a little bit stronger so that they would hold up to the wind. We tried different sizes, and eventually we found the right size, the right connection, and it was great fun to be out there in the wind. I've even traveled to different kite contests and watched the different people perform. I love to see the acrobat kites, the people that are out there with both hands going, with many strings, at least 2 strings, watching the kites do flips in the air, anything, everything, acrobats, whatever it is. And I often thought how cool it would be to get one of those kites until I saw the price tag. And then I kind of thought twice. It wasn't so much about spending the money. I was more afraid about wrecking it, trashing it, crashing it, and then not having a kite, and then really being out that much money. But it was such a joy to watch people who had the grace and finesse to be able to control such a kite. And even the big, huge Chinese dragon type kites. They were beautiful to see flying in the air, to soaring with such grace like a bird, and to be able to watch the look on the face of the kite commander, the one standing on the ground controlling the kite, responding to Mother Nature, responding to the wind, a gentle tug, a yank at times, a nice move to move it to where it needed to be. There's a joy and a quietness just to be out in Mother Nature, to feel that wind fighting against the kite, catching that perfect wind, getting it way up high and higher and higher and higher to where you almost can no longer see it. And then the struggle to roll up that wires, to roll up that kite string so fast before it crashes and hits the ground. And then there's all the movies. Go, Fly a Kite. Mary Poppins. Charlie Brown in the tree, always getting tangled up. My biggest fear of crashing it into a tree and being tangled up. But yet, the joy and beauty, the peaceful quietness of being outdoors, watching a kite sail high above, on the wind. Gentle, quiet, but also at the same time, feeling the power of that wind, knowing that that wind could indeed carry that kite away. It's only that thin, light kite string that's holding it all together. Feeling that wind down through that string, feeling the kite respond and catch the next puff of wind, knowing when to yank, knowing when to pull it in, knowing when to catch that wind and let more string out to carry it up higher. It's not something that can always be explained. You have to know it. You have to feel it. You have to be able to let go and not be worried about crashing and burning. Not be worried about running into something. Having that wide open space just to let the kite soar. Your mind be at ease, being peaceful, being quiet, responding to Mother Nature, and enjoying the great outdoors. On a calm, peaceful day, it's not the perfect day for flying a kite. You need the wind. You need that smack in the face type wind sometimes, just to carry it higher and higher. How high will your spirit float? How high will my spirit soar and fly in that kite? Watching that kite go higher and higher. And yes, even if somebody tells me in a joking way, they're ready to get rid of me, they say, go fly a kite. Give me a chance, and I'll do just that. Any day, any time. Just a little wide open space, a little bit of wind, and it's calm, peaceful flying, soaring higher and higher. Greetings once again from San Francisco. May your thoughts, your prayers soar high this day. Amen.